Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thanks to all of our witnesses for being with us today. Greatly appreciate it. I wanted to talk a little bit about child support programs run by tribes. They don't have access to all the tools and that state-run programs have. And so maybe I'll start with you, Ms. Turetsky. I wondered if you could explain more about why it's important to have tribal-run child support programs that can access the same tools that state programs have.
Well, certainly we support full parity. We meaning the federal office, we meaning me individually, the federal office, and the states, all support the importance of full parity. Some of the reasons for tribal child support programs' effectiveness is that it is working with a community of people with a set of, with its own culture, its own expectations, its own traditions, and working at a community level with a caseworker who understands your situation can go a long way to opening up trust on the part of the parents. And in addition, tribal child support programs are closer to the money. They know the circumstances of the families that they're serving in a way that a large, systems-driven state really can't have that same personal touch across all cases, and certainly not across tribal state lines. Just to add, the tribes also have some special flexibilities under the law.
Thank you. Tribal child support programs are very, very important in my state of Washington. I think we are tied with Oklahoma for the most tribal child support programs in the nation, but also less than a third of the tribes in Washington have an established child support program. So I was wondering, Ms. Smith, if you could maybe talk about what the barriers are for tribes in establishing these programs and what Congress could do to better help.
Part of it is, and there is a rule that is coming out that is going to help tribes, more tribes access the funding. And part of the previous kind of stopped some tribes was the match part, and coming up with that match for it's 80-20, coming up with that 20% was really, really hard. And that was a barrier for many tribes to move forward. And it was difficult for the tribes that did have programs to accumulate that match for the 80-20 match.
So funding primarily, you think, is number one. Okay. We were talking a little bit about taxpayer data a second ago, and I wondered, is there any difference between the way that tribes handle and protect personal taxpayer information than what state programs do?
No.
Do you know?
We follow all the same, we are obligated to follow all those same guidelines. We do we put in all the same safeguards, all those requirements, the same as states.
Thank you. And then I wondered also if you could, Ms. Smith, if you could share your perspective. Ms. Turetsky talked about this a little bit, but your perspective on being able to provide culturally specific approaches to these services.
It's very important to have that, the face-to-face conversations, so that the trust, what Ms. Turetsky had mentioned, trust is so important to build, and having the community the community's understanding and support of child support and our agency, and being able to help families actually see those outcomes within the community is so, well, it's personally rewarding, but it also helps the individual, the child especially. I mean, you can support the child much better when you're able to help the parents have a better relationship, be able to do that co-parenting together, and be able to provide those avenues for them and support those avenues for them to co-parent and provide physically, spiritually, for the child, financially. And we do, because we are a travel program, we are able to reach out in the cultural side and be able to provide those cultural aspects within the program that helps the family and supports the family.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I yield back.